Tibet. A whisper at the edge of the sky. A place where the veil thins, and the world feels touched by something ancient. Prayer flags rise in the wind, carrying secrets, carrying blessings, carrying the quiet language of spirit. Welcome to Lhasa, they say. Tashi Delek, drifting toward you, like a blessing carried on ancient wind. And then comes the white scarf, the kata, soft as breath, light as cloud. It is more than a greeting. It is a wish for safe journeys, a symbol of pure intention, a thread of goodwill placed gently in your hands. At the heart of Old Lhasa, where ancient streets wind towards sacred temples, stands the Jixiang Baoma Hotel, a quiet refuge wrapped in the spirit of the city. Just steps from Barker's timeless circle and within reach of Potala's watchful presence, it feels less like a hotel and more like a gentle pause in the journey. In this small sanctuary, comfort meets tradition, and the rhythm of Lhasa moves just outside the door, steady, sacred, and eternal. The Potala Palace rises like a mountain of light. Once the winter residence of the Dalai Lamas, its red and white walls holding centuries of Tibetan history. At Drepung Monastery, golden roofs rest against the hillside, once the largest monastery in the world, a place where thousands of monks studied the path to wisdom. In the heart of Old City, the Jokhang Temple glows, the spiritual center of Tibet, home to the revered Shakyamuni statue as pilgrims circle it day and night. And at Sera Monastery the stillness breaks. Monks debating in the courtyard, their sharp claps and bold gestures, part of a centuries-old tradition of learning. Together, they are the heartbeat of the city. The Brahmaputra stretches beside us in immense rolling force, a river as wide as a valley. Its mighty waters carry the weight of mountains and time, guiding our journey toward the high passes. As we climb higher, the world grows quiet. The Tibetan high passes rise before us, vast and wind-carved, touching the edge of the sky. Crossing them feels like stepping into another realm, where earth, cloud, and spirit meet. And then the turquoise appears. Yamdrok Lake, a jewel cradled among snow-dusted peaks. So still it feels like the sky has come to rest upon the earth. To Tibetans, Yamdrok is a life-spirit lake, a guardian of vitality, a keeper of blessings. Standing at its edge, the wind softens, the heart steadies, and the journey turns inward once more. From the greetings, to the sacred halls of its monasteries, to the quiet miracle of Yamdrok's blue, Tibet unfolds like a prayer, one breath at a time. They say Yamdrok was once a celestial goddess who descended to the earth, her turquoise waters forming wherever her spirit chose to rest. When the mountains rose around her, she curled into their embrace, becoming the great life-spirit lake of Tibet. Monks believe Yamdrok is one of the 4 sacred guardian lakes, its waters holding the power to reveal omens and guide the future. For generations, high lamas came here to seek visions, the lake's shifting colors said to whisper answers from the divine. And so the people say, as long as Yamdrok lives, Tibet will flourish, its spirit watching over the land in quiet, eternal blessing. Next we climb to Gyatso La Pass, which lifts us to 5,300 meters, over 17,400 feet, where the wind moves like an ancient prayer across the sky. Up here the mountains feel alive, and every breath carries the quiet wisdom of the high plateau. In the quiet fields of rural Tibet, lunch is more than a meal. It is an invitation into a way of life. The farming family welcomes us with shy smiles, their hands still dusted with the morning's work. Inside their simple sunlit home, the aroma of tsampa butter tea and freshly cooked barley fills the air. We sit together on low wooden stools as they serve homemade yak cheese, steaming fenthuk noodles and vegetables grown just steps from their door. Every dish carries the taste of the land, earthy, honest, and prepared with a generosity that needs no translation. Next stop, Karola Glacier. It rises like a frozen throne between the mountains, its white cliffs glowing against the deep Tibetan sky. Ancient ice cascades down in silent, shimmering layers, a river of time suspended in motion. Standing before it, you feel the breath of the Himalayas, cold and pure, sweeping across the pass. And now we journey onward, toward the place whispered about in every traveler's dream, the most anticipated stop of all.
We are inside.
The road into Everest National Park on the Tibetan Plateau feels like a passage into another realm, a slow rise into the kingdom of snow and sky. With every kilometer, the air grows thinner, the silence deeper, and the mountains more ancient in their presence. At Gawala Pass, standing at 5,200 meters, 17,060 feet, the world suddenly opens. From this single windswept ridge, 5 Himalayan giants reveal themselves in a perfect arc. Makalu, Lhotse, Everest, Cho Oyu, and Shishapangma, each one towering above 8,000 meters, 26,247 plus feet. Prayer flags whip in the icy wind, sending their colors and blessings across the high plateau. Descending from Gawala, the journey becomes a dance with the mountain itself. The road unfurls into a legendary series of over 100 switchbacks, carved into the rugged slopes like the coils of a silver dragon. Each turn reveals a new angle of the Himalayas, each bend drawing you closer to the hidden valley of Everest. Drivers say this stretch feels like navigating the very spine of the earth, steep, winding, and unforgettable.
And the Himalayan peak. I'm at the Everest base camp. Right here is Mount Everest. How lucky I am to be here.
After arriving at the Everest base camp, a profound stillness settles over us, the kind of silence that exists only at the edge of the sky. Here on the Tibetan side, Everest is not conquered. It is revered. Here stands Rongbuk Monastery, the highest monastery on earth at 5,000 meters, 16,404 feet. Here our group gathers in a circle of reverence. Together we offer prayers for the successful completion of our Kailash parikrama, a moment of unity, humility, and devotion held at the very roof of the world. The monks' chants rise and fall like the breath of the mountains themselves, carrying our intentions into the thin, sacred air. For centuries, pilgrims have stopped at Rongbuk before attempting the sacred circuit around Mount Kailash, believing that blessings received here, in the shadow of Everest, purify intention, strengthen the spirit, and protect the traveler on the demanding journey ahead. To pray at the world's highest monastery is to align oneself with the mountains, to seek harmony with forces far greater than our own. As dusk settles, Everest reveals its full majesty, 8,848 meters, 29,029 feet, of serene, immovable presence. When night finally descends, the world transforms. Clouds drift like spirits across the face of Everest. The mountain glows with a pale, celestial light, as if illuminated from within.
So not sure whether we'll be able to see it or not. And this is the sound of the prayer wheel. We are at Pico Lake. Look at the color. And there we have the snow-capped mountains.
I forgot about it already.
Pico.
Or way too, or something.
Something like Pico.
Yeah.
Pico.
The Chinese haven't brought skiing to Tibet yet, huh?
Everything has
Daybreak touches the valley gently and ahead rises Jom Dwar, the gateway of the gods. Ancient pilgrims believed that Jom Dwar is where Shiva's gaze first falls upon the devotee. Not the gaze of judgment, but the gaze that sees the soul stripped bare. Here the Lord asks silently, "Are you ready to walk not with your body, but with your spirit?" It is said that those who carry arrogance, those who cling to ego, those who come seeking achievement instead of surrender, feel an inexplicable heaviness at this gate. Some even turn back. For Jom Dwar is not crossed by feet alone. It is crossed by intention. Traditionally, Hindus pause at Jom Dwar to bow their heads, touch the earth, and whisper a simple prayer. Mahadev, let me walk this path with humility. Some leave a stone. Some leave a tear. Some leave a silent promise. For once you cross this gate, you are no longer just a traveler. You become a yatri. Hindus circle around Jom Dwar because it is believed to be the very point where Shiva's energy first emanates outward from Kailash, a vortex of purity that cleanses the pilgrim before they step into his realm. Walking around it is an act of pranam, a symbolic circumambulation that honors the gateway as the living threshold of Mahadev, just as one circles a temple sanctum before entering the presence of the deity. And then, with a deep breath, and a heart trembling with devotion, you step through. The world behind you feels distant. The world ahead feels ancient. The valley opens like a sacred corridor, as if the mountains themselves are bowing to the presence of Mahadev. In Hindu tradition, this is the threshold where the outer world ends and the inner pilgrimage begins. A silent nod from the Mahadev who sees all, knows all, and calls only those whose time has come. Here the pilgrim does not walk. The pilgrim offers. Ego, fear, pride, past karma. All are placed at the feet of the Lord. Before crossing this invisible threshold, for the moment you step through Jom Dwar, you are no longer in the human world. You are in Shivabhumi, the land where every stone is a mantra, every gust of wind a blessing, every heartbeat a prayer. The valley opens slowly, as if the mountains themselves are parting, to welcome you into the presence of the eternal. The path stretches forward, quiet, vast, eternal. The path is long, yet your feet move with a strange ease, as though guided by unseen hands. Devarati, the river of the gods, born from the ancient ice of Kailash. It flows beside the pilgrim like a whisper of Mahadev himself. The mantra rises softly in the wind, as the river glimmers in the morning light, each ripple carrying the memory of the mountain. This is no ordinary water. This is Shiva's pranic stream, a living thread of purity, woven from the silence of the eternal peak. They say Devarati is formed from the melting breath of Mahadev, from the stillness that sits at the heart of creation. Touch it, and the cold shocks you awake, not into fear, but into remembrance. The river chants with you. Its sound is a flowing mantra that steadies the mind and cleanses the unseen layers of the soul. As you walk beside it, the world falls away. Only the river remains, guiding, guarding, moving with you step for step, toward the northern face of Kailash. Some say the river listens. Some say it blesses. Some say it carries the pilgrim's prayers straight to the feet of the Lord. But all agree on one truth. Devarati is not water. It is the mountain in motion. It is Shiva in flow. It is the pilgrim's first companion on the sacred circle of the Kora. In the high, windswept meadows beneath Mount Kailash, the wild marmots are the first to greet you, plump, golden brown and endlessly curious. As you walk, they scurry in and out of their burrows, pausing just long enough to study you, as if deciding whether you are a pilgrim, a wanderer, or simply another story passing through the sacred land. But it is when you turn toward the east face of Kailash that the air changes. Here the mountain rises like a vast ancient sculpture, its ridges sharp as blades, its shadows deep as forgotten time. And in those shadows, many pilgrims say they have seen something extraordinary. A face, not carved by human hands but shaped by nature and time. Eyes that seem to look back. A presence that feels aware. Some see Shiva seated in eternal meditation. Some see Parvati serene and luminous. Others glimpse Hanuman, Ganesha or forms they cannot name, only feel. And for a moment, it feels as though the mountain itself is watching. And the east face of Kailash stands silent, yet alive.
Mahavishye Mahakashe Mahakalo Majhe Ami Manav Ekaki Bhumi Vishaye Bhumi Vishaye Mahavishye Mahakashe Mahakalo Majhe Tumi acho Vishwanath Ashimo Rahosyo Majhe Nirabe Ekaki Apuno Mohima Nilaye Mahavishye Mahakashe Mahakalo Majhe Ananto Deshokale Agunno Diptoloke Tumi acho Mukhe Chahi Ami Chahi Toma Pane Stabdho Sarvo Kolahalo Shanti Ma চরাচর এক তুমি তোমার মাঝে আমি একা নির্ভয়ে মহাবিশ্বে মহাকাশে
By the time you reach Dirapuk, the sun has dipped low, casting long shadows across the valley. And then, as if the mountain has been waiting for you, the north face of Kailash reveals itself, towering, luminous, alive. Some pilgrims say they see the outline of Mahadev, seated in eternal stillness. And the north face glows like a cosmic mirror. The second day of Parikrama, as the trail rises toward Dolmala Pass, pilgrims reach a windswept plateau called Shivasthal. Shivasthal, the sacred ground where the soul surrenders. Here, under Shiva's silent gaze, pilgrims offer a piece of themselves, a strand of hair, a prayer, a memory, letting the old life burn away in the unseen fire.
Pasan's group, right now I'm putting the prayer flag for all group members. And here's the Domala Pass, the right on the top. And we all made successfully, safety we reached to here. And this is a flag for our group. I wish all our group members, family, friends, themselves be healthy, wealthy. Good luck.
Good luck,
Thank you,
Tashdale.
Tashdale. Tashdale. Keki soso lasolo. Lasolo laikelo. Jowa ritu sunjen tamjel. Tungala tarpasho. Tashdale.
Tashdale,
Thank you.
you made a great job.
This is Gaurikunda. I am descending from the Dolmala Pass.
From Dolmala Pass, the trail descends into a valley touched by myth, Gaurikundo, the lake of the Divine Mother. Here, Parvati is said to have bathed and prepared herself before her ascent toward Shiva's sacred abode.
Last day of Parikrama, walking by this beautiful river. Still have another 2 hours to finish our Parikrama. But in the morning, walking by this beautiful scenery, it's really encouraging.
At the edge of the Tibetan plateau, beneath the shadow of Mount Kailash, lies a lake spoken of in scriptures and dreams, Manasarovar, the lake of the mind. Here the sky descends to meet the earth and the water mirrors both heaven and the soul. According to ancient Hindu lore, this is the lake first imagined in the mind of Brahma, a creation born not from earth, but from consciousness itself. Its waters are said to wash away lifetimes of karma, carrying the pilgrim closer to liberation with every breath of its icy wind. To sit by Manasarovar is to feel the world fall away, until only stillness remains. On the wild western shore of Kailash lies Rakshas Tal, the lake claimed by Ravana. Here the demon king stood in fierce austerity, offering his very heads to Shiva in a firestorm of devotion. Rakshas Tal is Ravana's legacy, dark and restless. Then the south face of Kailash erupts into view, its sacred cleft a blazing doorway into Shiva's realm. We did it. From the frozen heights of Everest Base Camp to the sacred shadow of Mount Kailash, we completed a journey few ever dare to dream. We have walked where legends were born, prayed where sages once stood, and felt the breath of the Himalayas move through our own. Now, as the mountains fade into the horizon, it is time to say goodbye. not to the peaks but to the versions of ourselves we leave behind. For the Himalayas never truly let us go. They simply wait for our return.